Hello guys, it's Quite Afro here doing a DLC showcase for the Wending Waterbuses for Cities in Motion 2. It's the first DLC for water buses. I've been doing like videos for all of the new DLC that has been coming out. There's still, I think, the Metro Madness that I have to go over, but anyway, this is the first batch of DLCs that have come out for this game, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more. And like, I've also been like kind of also thinking about maybe they can even add different transport types to the game. Like there was actually something I suggested to the development team where they can actually do maybe cable cars or whatever, because there's a lot of gradient features that you can use when creating maps and that. Like for example, Petersburg has a lot of gradients, as you can see. It's not just flat. So I suggested to them maybe they can do cable cars or whatever. I think that would be pretty cool. Like, not the type of cable cars they did in Cities in Motion 1, like the San Francisco cable car. I don't really class that as a proper cable car, but I mean like the kind of like mountain cable cars and stuff like that. But that's just like anyway an idea that I had. I know probably the people that have given that idea already, but I just thought it would be cool to add like another transport type, or even bring back stuff like helicopters, or even maybe add planes or something like that. But anyway, this is the DLC showcase for the Wending Waterbuses, and I'm glad that they've added a few more boats to the actual game, because the default boats were alright. Like, if you pre-order the game, you'd get one free, so for the people that didn't pre-order it, you would only get the two kind of standard ones, so it's a good addition to have these 5 more. Anyway, so we're on Petersburg, this custom map, which I will do a let's play of eventually. I've made this little test route here for us to display the routes on. So right now, if I go onto the actual line, the timetable is all set, so we can just have water buses flowing out. So let's just unpause the game and let's look at the first bus, which is the Stingray Taz, and it is 1,300. Its maintenance requirement is 730 per 100 kilometers, which is not that bad. It uses 90 diesel consumption per 100 kilometers. 24 seats. It's the smallest boat, unfortunately, but it's not really that bad. 24 seats isn't the actual maximum, it's only just the recommended amount that everyone would be comfortable at. Service quality is 100%, that's really good, and acceleration is excellent as well. Sorry about that. But anyway, overall, the water buses in general, their acceleration is excellent, their service quality is really good, except for the last 3 and 4 ones, which are the biggest ones, obviously. And they're obviously not going to have a huge amount of acceleration in that, and they're obviously going to be a bit more costly to run and that, etc., if you're not using unlimited money like I am. So the first one is the Stingray. Let's buy 2 of them to showcase them to you. Let's hope for one to come out now. Let's just forward it a little bit. Now, the Stingray Taz is quite a nice looking water bus, I have to say. It's looks very definitely, this is something like European, something you'd see like in France or something like that. It's really nice, and it's just really simple, and it's just something I would probably use for like shorter little link routes, only one stop routes, just something to just link not a lot of people, but just a few people to link to places or whatever. I wouldn't use this on a really heavy route, but I really like the design of it. It has like these like buoys on the side, these tires like on the side, 3 each on each side. The lifeguard rings on the top, space there for people to stand if the game engine actually allowed people to actually stand in vehicles or whatever. Nice windows. The front looks nice, and it's generally and it actually goes at a pretty nice speed, so it's pretty good. And generally overall, this is probably one of my favorite ones in this DLC package for the water buses, as it's really simple. And then you have like also the windows at the top, which is pretty cool as well. So it's a pretty simple like little water bus to transport people around, and it is the smallest. So yeah, and the door opens at the back of there. So yeah, so that is the Stingray Taz. So now let's just go on to the sell the Stingray and go on to the next water bus, which is not the Don Leaper, it's not the Stingray T17, it is the Triora, or Trior, whatever you say. This is definitely probably the most courteous looking water bus they're releasing in this DLC. It definitely looks really futuristic, it looks out there. I don't even know if this ship exists, but it looks definitely really cool. Price is 1,700, maintenance is good, every 8 minutes, I think that's per 100 kilometers it needs to be maintained. 100 kilometers of diesel consumption, that's pretty good. 36 seats, not the max, but the max amount that people will be comfortable at. So it has a good amount of space for like a quick little water bus jet that kind of like, it doesn't look like it can hold a lot of people, but that's definitely good that it can hold this amount of people. Acceleration is good, and service quality is probably one of the lowest. No, actually, no, it's not, but it's definitely it's decent. I would say 75% is decent. So anyway, let's buy 2 and have a look at them. Let's just fast forward a little bit to get one on the timetable, and there we go. So this is the Triora, if I'm saying that right. Like some of these names in this game, I just don't understand to say. So anyway, it definitely really looks futuristic, and I have to say, like, it just looks like a super yacht or something. It doesn't look like something that transports people around. So definitely, I think this is definitely, if you want to have something fancy in your water bus route lineup or fleet, definitely buy this and have it like do it like a really long route where it can really let out the speed or whatever. So that's really cool. The steps like come down, and it just, to me it still looks like a super yacht or something. It doesn't look like something that transports people in. But as you can see, the boat is kind of like it's kind of like a catamaran slash hydrofoil, but it has 2 wing outlets that carry the boat for balance, and then it has the main center body where the passengers sit underneath. As you can see, the windows down there as well. So it's definitely I would say this is probably the coolest looking water bus that has come out with this DLC. So definitely add this to your like routes that you want something like that looks a little flashy and a little like chic, little flamboyant. I think this is definitely the water bus for you if you want to be interested in getting this DLC, because definitely this one is definitely the coolest looking water bus by far. So yeah, that is the Triora in the Wending Waterbuses DLC. Hope you like this one. This is definitely a very nice one to look at, and a very nice one to add to your fleet. So let's just now go into the depot and let's sell those 2, and let's go on to the next one, which is the Siopaa state, or Siopaa state, whatever you want to say it. I really don't know how to pronounce some of these names in this game. Siopaa state. It is the most oldest, I would say, water bus they've added to the game. Like all of the other ones are sort of modern. This is definitely the most oldest looking one, the kind of like biggest looking one as well. It's 2,100, so it's definitely one of the most costliest one. 730 on the maintenance requirement, 150 diesel consumption, so this one does strain a lot on the diesel. 48 seats, which is a good amount, recommended. 70% service quality, it's decent. It's on par with the Triora, and the acceleration is actually quite decent for something that looks quite big. So anyway, let's buy some and let's get it out and have a look at it. Just going to forward it a little bit, and there we go, the Siopaa state. Looks like a kind of like old steam kind of ferry, if you know what I mean. I like how it has 4 lifeboats on either side. It looks like it can go in either direction because there's 2 bridges, which symmetrical bridges, but in this game it just goes one way, turns around and goes one way. So you won't be getting it out, it'll just go in there, and then when it gets a passenger it wouldn't just go straight backwards like in reverse gear. But yeah, it's still a pretty cool looking boat. It just looks really old fashioned, and it's actually pretty fast for something that, as I said, looks pretty big, and it doesn't look like it would go that fast, but it's actually something that looks pretty I'd say this is something for like a scenic route. This is what I'd add to something. If you're playing on a custom map that has like a scenic river or a scenic river passage, definitely if you want to get this DLC, put this vehicle on that kind of like scenic route, because definitely this one will fit in. Like something like the Triora on a scenic route wouldn't fit in my opinion, but something like this, something old-fashioned, would definitely will. So as we watch it go into here, there's 2 doors that open on this. So when it stops, there you go, the 2 doors kind of like flap open twice, which is pretty cool. And yeah, this is basically the Siopaa estate. It's it's the oldest looking water bus so far that's released in the game. So going back to a bit of Cities in Motion 1 here, because I remember the Cities in Motion 1 water buses, there was a lot of them looking like this and that. So yeah, and it has a good capacity of 48 people recommended. So yeah, that's the Siopaa estate. Let's move on to the next water bus. Let's buy it. The Mandrake Linden's the default one, and then the second to last water bus is the Donor Trooper. It's, I think, no, it's not the most expensive, but it's the second most expensive, 2,750. So if you are playing with actually a cap amount of money, this is definitely going to be a big purchase for you if you want to have something a bit more like grander or whatever. Maintenance is not bad, 8 per 100 kilometers. Diesel consumption is pretty high. 60 seats is really good. Service quality 75%. It's better than the Mandrake Linden, so it's definitely it's good. It won't break down that much, and acceleration is good. Obviously these vehicles that we're getting into now are very heavy. They carry a lot of people. They're not going to be able to accelerate as fast as the ones that carry less people. So anyway, let's get the Donor Trooper out. Let's just forward it a bit to get one out of the depot. There we go. Let's click on it. So this is definitely your kind of standard catamaran kind of water bus. It looks pretty much like any kind of catamaran, simple small little catamaran that runs in the world and stuff like that. Has a few windows, nice bridge, and then when it comes up here, I think it has 2 doors as well that open up. So this is definitely one of your kind of more standard type of catamaran water buses. So as you see there, it opens 2 flaps, and it looks pretty cool. It looks like it has like a nice little standing area at the back, and people can go into like a little like cabin or something there. So it's definitely just a pretty average looking catamaran. There's nothing I would say, I don't think it's the most striking or anything. It's just the most simplest one I think that comes out with this DLC. It goes pretty good. It's not as fast as the other ones that we've currently shown in the video. So you know, this is definitely just a type of standard catamaran water bus that you would just put on any typical route that has a lot of people, because this thing can take up to 60 people plus. So it's definitely a very good water bus to have on routes and stuff like that. So again, let's just watch it here come through into this pier. The 2 flaps open like that, and your passengers go in, and this is the Donor Trooper. Probably the simplest looking water bus to come out with this DLC of the Wending Waterbuses. So yeah, let's move on to our last water bus to show in this showcase. Ugh, God, I'm clicking everywhere. One thing I hate about this game is the pop-ups. It just pops up. If you click on anything, it just pops up like that. You can press escape to clear it, but it annoys me sometimes. I know it's nice to have everything customizable, but it does annoy me sometimes. Anyway, let's go on to the last vehicle. Just something I wanted to put in there. It's just like a little thing that annoys me about the game. Anyway, the next one is the Yoker 350, and if you notice, it has the same name as I think one of the trolley buses. Probably the same make, so they're probably from the same type of region in the world. I'm probably guessing Japan or something. I don't know. I don't want to just use the name as a kind of giveaway there, but maybe it probably is Japan. Anyway, the Yoker 350 is 2,900. The most expensive is the most expensive to maintain. It costs a lot, and it needs to be maintained a lot. Diesel consumption is very high. Seats though, that's where it excels. It can carry so many people. Its service quality is another thing that lets it down. So it needs to be going back to the depot constantly to get maintained or whatever. If you're going to just leave it out there to just do runs over and over again, it's probably going to break down, and then it's just going to be slow. And I hate when that happens, when like vehicles are out and it breaks down and it goes slow, smokes and whatever. But that's actually good. I remember in the first game where a vehicle broke down, it just let all the passengers out, and then they'll be all sad and they'll just run away, and then it just let them back in. While here they at least carry on until they get to a depot or whatever. So anyway, let's have a look at, let's buy a few Yoker 350s and let's get it out of the depot, and it comes out now straight away. Now this one looks to me, it looks smaller than the Danu Trooper, but it can carry more. This is the thing about this game. Some of the vehicles look smaller than the previous vehicles or whatever, but they can carry more. This again looks like your standard catamaran, but it looks pretty nippy. I prefer the look of this one to the Danu Trooper. It's quite a nice look, quite nice sharp thin side blades that go into the water. Its door opens like that, which I think is pretty cool. The flap opens down here and the door in the cabin slides backwards, which I think is pretty cool, as you can see. And then it just slides closed, and then the flap goes up. So now, and then we have another one that's coming to join the service. So yeah, and it looks pretty cool. You have like even a little anchor there as in detail, which is pretty good. And to be honest, like if you look at it, it just looks like a normal boat strapped with like fins on it, which I have to say is pretty good. The speed is actually good. The acceleration, it said it was good, not excellent. So this one's probably maybe a slight bit faster than the Dawn Trooper. So definitely, if you have a busy route, this is definitely your vessel to put on it, because 66, even though it's +6 of the Dawn Trooper, I would say this one definitely looks cooler, and I probably would use it on my busy routes. So yeah, overall, I hope you enjoyed viewing these vehicles, and if this has helped you maybe consider buying the Wending Bus DLC, then definitely consider it, because it's not a lot of money, and it's definitely, I think it's really nice in a type of game like this, where it's mainly all dependable on the vehicles and that as such. It's just good to get like a nice release of content which you can just start building up fleets, and not just having a repetitive amount and the same amount of vehicles just on your routes. It just looks boring. Like the Metro Madness, which is a video that I'm going to be doing as well, that's one of the type of DLCs that I was really anticipating, because the Metros, if I didn't pre-order the game, I would have probably just gotten only one Metro. And to have only one Metro for that amount of time until the DLC came out, it just was a bit annoying and a bit boring to look at. So definitely, if you are interested in getting DLCs, just definitely do it if you like what you see. So anyway, I hope you liked all of these water buses I've shown you. I've definitely enjoyed doing this little showcase and explaining to you a few things about them, and basically showing them off to you, because that's what I'm basically doing. So I'll see you in another DLC showcase video, or in another video I do. If you have any questions, please comment down. I'll definitely try and answer them. Like and favorite the video if you want to, and if you like my content that I'm releasing, subscribe, why not, and you can just keep up to date with all the videos I'm producing or whatever. So guys, I hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you for another video soon. Bye bye.